Hey, this is Photographic Bonsai. In this video, I'm going to talk about ergonomics, ease of use, using a camera in practice. I think these days cameras are basically so good that image quality isn't as important as ergonomics in my opinion. The way that the camera is used, the way that you can use the camera, customize it, make it really work for you well, I think is the most important thing about a camera. So I'm going to go over a few points related to that in this video. The biggest, most obvious difference between cameras is the grip. This is especially evident on my Nikon D600 and D750. They're vastly different in how they feel when you hold them. The D600 has a really thick grip with not a lot of depth to it, but the D750 has a lot of depth. It's a little thinner, just so much nicer to use in practice. Of course, that depends on your hands, but I've found the D750 to have a very, very nice grip. Pentax cameras I've used in the past, the K5, K7, have very nice grips, but they're a little short for my hands. So it is based on personal preference, but there can be vastly different grip types that really work well for you or work really poorly for you. My first DSLR was a Pentax Starist DS. I had looked online and found it had a lot of nice specifications compared to other cameras at the time, but when I actually got it, because I didn't have a way to try the camera out before buying it, I found the grip was really lackluster. It was hard, it had a curve to it that was really pressing on one of my fingers, but I got used to it. It's just really good grips can be a very good thing for cameras. Buttons and button placement can be a huge hindrance or really good thing for a camera in use. You've got button placement, what it does, if you can customize it. There's so many aspects of actual tactile buttons. I really like to have a good amount of buttons that can help me get direct control of what I need at the time. For example, the X100F has a Q button. It's nice to have direct access to a screen that lets you change a lot of things, but the placement of it is not ideal for me personally. It doesn't work well because I easily press it with my thumb as I'm holding the camera. Probably one of the best things about the X100F is the three main controls for aperture, shutter speed, and ISO. You also have the two dials you can push the ISO and shutter speed to if you would like. Works really well. You've got those three main controls. You can adjust them really tactily, especially the aperture, nice in the front by the lens where you would expect. And the shutter speed dial works well too. It's really nice to have that right there, easy to change. Don't have to mess with a command dial or anything like that. Video record buttons can be vastly different between cameras, what they do, where they're placed. For example, my Canon Rebel SL2 has a record button that works as the live view turn on button when you're in photo mode, but in video it just works as the record. So it works pretty well in practice. I've had some where, especially the mirrorless cameras or any type of small digital camera, where the record button, you just press it and it starts recording the video instantly. That's pretty convenient and nice for those type of cameras. Customization is extremely important as well. It can help you be more effective at taking photos and adjusting to different styles, like you want to do high-speed action or you want to do some other portraiture work, something where the settings are vastly different between those two styles of photography. So for example, on the D600 and D750, they have a U1 and U2 custom modes on the main command dial. So you can set those to be any type of standard mode, manual, aperture priority, whatever. And then you can adjust almost every setting in the camera to those U1 and U2. So you can have vastly different setups assigned to those custom modes. Works really well. For example, I have manual mode for one for flash and just standard manual. I also have aperture priority for the second one, which is good for portraiture and things that I do a lot of. With the X100F, all of the custom buttons can be quickly changed to what you want. If you hold that button down and it gives you a menu on the screen, it's quick and easy to adjust things. Just works really well in that case. Some aspects you might not think about too much but are very important are simple things like the port doors, where the memory card is, how easy or difficult it is to take out the memory card, put it back in. Back to the port doors, if they're flimsy, if they're difficult to open, that makes a big difference or if they're easy to move out of the way when you're doing video stuff, like a microphone. You want to have that cord in there, but you don't want to have issues with the port cover being in the way of the screen. If it flips out, it's just a lot that really makes a good port door or a bad port door. Again, with the memory cards too. One more feature of a camera that's very simple, but you can have really bad ones and really good ones, is the battery door. For example, probably a gold standard of battery doors I've used in the past would be the Pentax ones, K7, K5, and the K32 that I had used. It's very simple, has a nice gasket on it for weather resistance, and you can latch it in, you rotate the knob, and it locks in solidly. It's very consistent, it works well. It's very similar actually to a Garmin GPS that I have where it rotates and locks in. Besides that, the D600, D750 door has a spring, so it's quick and easy to close and open, but it doesn't feel super confident. I've tried some of the Sony cameras, such as the A9. In that case, it doesn't have a spring, so it's more difficult to close and open. You have to do an extra movement of your fingers. Works okay, but again, still not super confident. The Canon Rebel SL2 is very similar to the D600, D750 doors that I have. In this case, it's even a little bit less confident to close, especially when I'm using my AC adapter unit for video stuff here. Just taking these type of videos, I usually use tape just in case so it doesn't open accidentally, because it will turn the camera off if it does open. The X100F door is not great either. The actual latch juts down below the door itself, so you can easily hit that when you're out in the field. I've done it a few times. I've been using tape on that as well when I'm out there just taking photos so it doesn't open accidentally. I do use tape that doesn't leave a residue, so it works pretty well, but it's just a hassle to deal with. All that said, of course, people's hands are very different. Their preferences are very different. So manufacturers have a hard time balancing what might work for someone, won't work too well for another person. But you want to find the tool that works really well for you. That means getting hands-on time with cameras, really trying them out, seeing what works well in practice. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot. Likes and shares help out a lot as well. Thanks again.